Ayanaga Hojan Gola, Bayanaga show a Hojan Gola, Bayanaga show a Hojan Gola, Bayanaga Shanga Hola, Naya Shayati, BKA, Bayanaga show a Pechat Ella.
Yat Welcome to the Office of Government Development. My name is Sylvia Laughter. I'm the Acting Executive Director for the office. The office was created for the purpose of assisting the Navajo Nation government by making recommendations for reform that is necessary to ensure an accountable government and conduct long-range comprehensive planning, evaluation, and development goals to enhance a government that accommodates the Navajo people. It is charged with encouraging the Navajo people's involvement, promoting their general welfare, and ensuring government accountability, integrity, justice, and domestic order. It is also charged with developing proposals for alternative forms of chapter government and empowerment. If you will check on the Office of Government Development's website at www.ongd.navajo.org, you will be able to learn more about the office and also access any of the forms that you will need once your chapter determines which government model you choose to follow. You are also more than welcome to call our office at any time should you have any questions.
Mr. Speaker, members of the Council, thank you.
The Honorable Speaker, please.
July 97. The Navajo Nation Council Beshmansa Ana Eya Henkodo Local Governance Act Anhi Tanafit Ado Anhi has Aninate Ado Nahat Ad Anhinate Ado no he can Abi has Ani Ila. I don't stand with the Shiji Gate Lahapinas to Dotlaho Eya Hail Enda Yad Arch Inuya. Around the chapters A in Tlahobic and the East to Tahasito, Kodona at Anino, Lenigi di Kodona at Kidigi no Obic Echo, so the Bonet Zangun a chapter though I didn't it was Anigi, he had a whistle in Kipot Ahigi, Big Echo Enot Ahigi, Na Ahtona Hashna. Ako ebik itlato shiben dashnistone. Around the chapter topic in the East Anido certified at Yai top shitlato yin darnishkot at Adat and that oi, Brubkin that out output at Yahat Hasito.
Hello, my name is Calvin Lee Jr. I'm the attorney with the Office of Navajo Government Development, and today we're going to be talking about the alternative forms of governance. Pursuant to Title 26 Navajo Nation Code Section 103E6, a governance certified chapter may adopt an alternative form of governance based upon models provided by the Transportation and Community Development Committee of the Navajo Nation Council. Pursuant to 26 NNC Section 2, Part 4, an alternative form of chapter governance means to give a new design, function, or organization to the existing chapter government. The reasons for considering an alternative form of governance include to create a more representative form of government, or to institute a system of governance that is more efficient, or to allow the membership to delegate certain functions to the alternative government while reserving for themselves other functions. Pursuant to Transportation Community Development Resolution 36-01, the TCDC Committee approved the alternative forms of chapter governance models, policies, and procedures. And within these policies and procedures, we have 4 different types of models. We have the chapter council president model. We have the commission manager model. We have the council of Nat'a model. And finally, we have an optional governance model procedure, and I will be discussing these further. In the chapter council president model, each chapter may be governed by an elected chapter council and an elected chapter president, and by such other officers and employees as may be duly appointed pursuant to this section and local ordinance. The chapter council and president are elected to serve a 4-year term. The chapter council shall consist of at least 5 and no more than 9 members who shall be elected at large and shall serve a term of 4 years. The council carries out the legislative and policy-making authority of the chapter unless otherwise reserved to the chapter membership. The chapter president carries out executive power and administrative oversight. All powers not delegated to the chapter government pursuant to the Alternative Governance Ordinance are reserved to the chapter membership.
Yeah, yeah, we a yeah, yeah, we a yeah, 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 we a yeah, yeah, we a yeah.
In the commission manager form of government, a chapter under this form of government shall be governed by an elected chapter commission and by an appointed chapter manager and by such other officers and employees as may be duly appointed pursuant to this form of government and by local ordinance. The commission shall be elected at large by the chapter members for a 4-year term. The chapter commission shall consist of not less than 5 nor more than 9 members as provided in the chapter ordinance. The commissioners shall serve a term of 4 years. All powers of the chapter and policy matters shall be vested in the commission, except as otherwise provided by chapter membership ordinance. The commission shall appoint a chapter manager who shall carry out the executive and administrative responsibilities of the chapter.
Yeah, yeah, we a yeah, yeah, we a yeah, yeah, we a yeah.
In the Council of Nat'a and Atsalasta executive form of government, the chapter operating to this form of government shall be governed by elected council and by appointed Atsalasta executive and by such other officers and employees as may be duly appointed pursuant to this form of government and local ordinance. The representative members of the council shall be appointed by the respective councils and or boards and shall serve 2-year terms which may be staggered pursuant to local ordinance. The chapter president and secretary treasurer shall be elected at large by the registered voters of the chapters and shall serve for a term of 4 years. All powers of the chapter and policy matters shall be vested in the council except as otherwise provided by chapter membership ordinance. The Council of Nat'a shall appoint an Atsalasta executive who shall carry out executive and administrative responsibilities of the chapter government.
Yeah, yeah, we a yeah, we a yeah, we a yeah, we a.
In the optional governance model procedure, if a governance or certified chapter wants to pursue a model not already established by the Transportation Community Development Committee, the chapter can propose a new model consistent with the intent and purpose of the Local Governance Act as contained in 26 NNC Section 1B1, clearly setting forth the duties and responsibilities of the elected and appointed officials. The optional model shall be approved by the Transportation Community Development Committee.
Yeah, yeah, we a yeah, we a yeah, we a.
In the ordinance development procedures, registered members of a governance certified chapter shall adopt a chapter resolution authorizing the study and development of an alternative form of governance ordinance. Upon approval, members shall appoint an alternative governance ordinance development committee. The appointment of an ordinance development committee begins with, number 1, recommending an appropriate model, number 2, developing an ordinance, and finally, this has to occur within a 120-day timeline. The committee is responsible for recommending the governance model that best meets the needs of the chapter. They are responsible for developing the proposed ordinance, defining the duties, responsibilities, and functions of the elected and appointed officials. They are responsible for defining the extent of authorities delegated from the chapter membership to the alternative government. And finally, they are responsible for completing the proposed ordinance within 120 days after appointment of the committee or as determined by the chapter. In the chapter ballot measure, pursuant to 26 NNC Section 2001H, the amended code reads, the chapter ballot measure shall be used for the adoption of an alternative form of chapter governance. Adoption of a chapter ballot measure shall be in accordance with 11 NNC sections 401 through 408, the election code. When we refer to section 406 of the election code, the vote required, the measure